Alright, hello again everyone. It's been a while since we've done a class, but today we're getting into it. We're going to do our first recorded hip series. I've had a couple practice runs at it, so hopefully we go all pretty good. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with our warm-up. So we'll come around, sitting on your mat, grab your hands behind your knees, and roll back slowly, stretching out your spine. And after you land, push your elbows down, hands up, stretch your back, your pelvis away from your back. Slowly bring your hands up to your head, stretch out your head and your neck gently, lay it down, and then let our hands come out by our sides. Feet at knees at 90-degree angle, feet hip width, and we'll start off with an easy warm up of the hips. So we'll just start rocking the pelvis back and forth, getting that imprint and arch, imprint and arch, going back and forth. And then as we've done in some of the other classes, we'll work on the three directions of the hips. So we'll do the teeter-totter, right side down, left side up, right side up, left side down. Just keep rocking back and forth. Try to keep your knees up and pointing straight up and as still as possible. You can put your hands on your hips to get a little bit more sensitivity.
You actually lift your pelvis up on each side when you teeter-totter?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. So you're pushing one side down, the other side lifts up, and your pelvis is slightly off the ground.
And I'm like using my butt muscles to lift
Got
alternating?
butt muscles, hamstrings, you want to engage your belly.
Okay.
Alright, and then letting go, let's release that action, do one or two imprints. Then our last movement is going to be the hip towards, going straight down towards the ankles. So right side drops towards the ankle, left side comes up towards the shoulder, and then back. Left side towards the ankles, right side towards the shoulders. Go back and forth in that direction. Once again, engaging your belly lightly, keeping your knees stable. Alright, now coming back to center, neutral back, neutral hips. Draw your legs up one at a time. We'll put our hands behind our knees, crossing right hand over left, and now just a little pulsing with the knees. Then start going side to side, rolling the pelvis. Even in this position, do you notice, are you going into an imprint or an arch? Can you get a nice neutral spine with light engagement in the abs? Let that turn into circles.
When you do circles, do you go into imprint though?
Actually, when I'm doing the circle, I try to maintain a bit of a imprint, and then of course as you're coming up, you're actually lifting your pelvis off the ground.
Well, that's when the imprint would happen.
Right, yes. Alright, legs up, switch the grip with the hands, bring your legs back down, do circles the other way.
I always find my arms are short for this. I can't.
Well, I got
better with longer arms.
I got the long arms.
You
It's
have the
perfect. Alright, going side to side. finishing off with a bit of pulsing. Legs up, release the hands to the side, bring your feet back down gently one at a time to protect your back. And then from here we'll walk our feet and knees together. And then let those knees fall apart. Go back and forth a couple times. And then this time keep your knees out. Really push your feet, especially your big toe mound, into the floor. Let that be the limit for how wide your feet go. And then we'll just do a few rounds of breathing before we get into the rest of the practice. So big belly breath, exhale. And breathe in. Once again, you can bring your hands to your belly for a bit of extra sensitivity. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, two more on your own time. Alright, now if we're done with the breathing, bring our hands to our thighs or outside of our legs, draw the knees together, feet together. And then once again, walk them to hips distance apart. And now we're going to start a bit on our hips and core series. So we'll start with some leg lifts. So bring some shin lifts. So bring up the right foot. Put your right hand onto your thigh so you can keep your foot vertical. And then start doing some shin lifts. Just bring the foot straight up. Once again, make sure that you're keeping your foot engaged, your toes spread, pushing into the floor with your left foot, keeping your big toe mound down. Check in with your back. Are you arching? Are you imprinting? Just try to keep a nice neutral spine. Alright, two more and then bring your leg up to hold. Take a couple deep belly breaths with that leg up to stretch into the hip. Alright, now we'll go into some leg lifts. So slowly, slowly, slowly as you can, let that right leg come down. Exhale, light engagement in the abs. And bring it back up. Once again, lowering it down very slow. Lots of control. You can keep your hands on your belly or on your ribs to maintain that sensitivity. Make sure that you're not arching or imprinting. If you want to, if you're feeling strong, you can speed it up a little bit. But don't lose control. Push into that left foot. Keep the left toe mound down. 2 more. Then bring it down. Can you hold your leg out in a hover? Your leg just off the ground. Now we're going to do the heel drag. So slowly bring your heel towards your bum. Then sliding leg back out. You want to keep your heel evenly off the floor, an inch or so, maybe less.
How far do you pull it in when you're at the top?
Basically, once you start lifting, if you're pulling it in so hard that your ankle is lifting away from the floor or your heel's lifting away from the floor, that's your limit. Are you keeping your left leg, your left big toe now push into the floor? Are you keeping your abs lightly engaged? Alright, 2 more. This time with your thigh perpendicular to the floor, go ahead and do another shin lift. Stretch that out. And then bend at the knee, twisting, turning that into a figure 4. You want your right ankle just outside of your left knee. You want to keep your toes really engaged to protect your knee. And then if you want, you can draw in that left leg and cross the hands behind the left knee. And if you're feeling sensitive, your hips are sore, if you start losing your form, then just leave your left foot on the floor. That's a great place to start. If you can, start drawing that left leg in towards you, using some arm strength, pulling your elbows out. Now from here, can you do some of the imprint and arch? If you can't imprint and arch, you're pulling too hard. You're getting too much into the pose.
See, I wish my arms were longer. I can't actually fully wrap my arms around my thigh without imprinting, for sure. So does that mean I need a strap?
No, I would just from this position get into it as you can, imprint and arch, and see if that opens it up a little bit to draw that leg in closer.
I mean, I can, it's just then I made an imprint.
Right, so if you can't imprint and arch, then you're pulling too hard. You're getting into the...
Or my arms are too short.
Yeah, either way. Eventually that leg will get closer.
I mean, I can, just, yeah.
Alright, now we'll let that left foot come down. Release, and we'll do some ankle movement with that right foot. So we'll start off with just back and forth on the left, on the right ankle. And then we'll let that go into circles. Now circles the other way. Alright, bring that foot back to center, draw the toes towards you, curl the toes, point the foot, flip the toes, draw the foot back to you, curl the toes, point the foot, flip the toes, draw it back towards you one more time, curl the toes, point the foot, flip the toes, draw it back towards you. And slowly draw that knee, right knee over your chest, extend the right leg, give it one more stretch, before we bring it back down. Once again, feet hip width apart, knees at 90-degree angle. We'll bring our knees together and walk our feet out to the edge of the mat with our being slightly pigeon-toed or reclined creeper position. And this time we'll start working on drawing some breaths up into the ribs. So light ab engagement, pulling your belly button down towards your pelvis and your stomach up under your ribs. Once again, you can bring your hands to your ribs to get some sensitivity. And big exhale. And inhale into the ribs. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Check in with your body. Are you imprinting? Are you arching? You're putting one side of your pelvis into the ground more than the other. 2 more breaths on your own time. And release. Let your arms come wide. Let your knees come apart. Walk your feet back to hips width apart. Take 1 or 2 breaths to relax before we start on the left side. All right, pushing that right foot into the floor, especially the big toe mound. Draw the left leg up so the thigh is perpendicular. You can put your hand on your thigh. Engage your toes and your feet on the left side, and we'll start doing some shin lifts. Once again, check in with your body. Are you imprinting? Are you arching? Is one side of your pelvis jamming into the floor more than the other? With this side, I have to concentrate on keeping the right hip down. Maybe it's different for you. And this time, bring it up to hold. We'll start doing some leg lifts on this side. So slow as you can, drop that leg to the floor. Keeping it under control. Being very aware of what's going on in your pelvis. Now if you want, you can speed it up a little bit with that leg lift. Alright, do 2 or 3 more leg lifts on this side, and then end with your leg hovering. Good time once again to check in. Are you maintaining a neutral pelvis? Left side, right side, weighted evenly. Take a deep breath. And we'll start doing some heel drag. So keeping that left heel close to the ground, drawing it towards your bum. Back out. Once again, the limit of the motion is when you draw it in, keep it close to the ground. Don't lift up the whole leg, but keep that heel close to the ground the entire time. Two more, and then when you're finished, keep your leg drawn in, go into a shin lift, bring that leg up, give it a good stretch, and then twist in, turn your leg like a screwdriver in the hip and bring that left leg over for figure four. On this side, once again, hooking the left ankle just outside of the left knee, or right knee, engaging the foot to protect the knee. And then if you can use your arms to draw that right leg in towards you. Once again, it's perfectly fine to just keep that right foot on the floor. Make sure that you're really engaging your big toe mound on the floor as you're doing that. And then once again, from this position, can you imprint an arch? Imprint an arch a little bit. Alright, after doing some imprint and arch, once again come back to a nice neutral pelvis. Draw it in a little bit more if you have the range. And then slowly release, let that right foot come down. And we'll start doing the ankle movements on the left side. So just back and forth, on the toes towards you, away. Letting that turn into some circles. Circles the other way. Then bring it back to center, flex the foot towards you, your foot, and then curl the toes, point the foot, flip the toes, flex the toe back, curl the toes, point the foot, flip the toes back, draw the foot back, one more time, curl the toes, point the foot, flip just the toes, flex it back, and then release. So draw that left knee over your chest, bring your right leg out, left leg up, let it stretch, and then bring that back down. Once again, feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart. We'll stretch out a bit from here, so elbows, hands up, elbows down, push the elbows in to stretch your back away from your hips. Bring your hands up, gently grab the back of your skull, draw out your neck, lay your head down gently, let your hands come to their side. Take a couple breaths. from here, we'll go into a cobbler pose to do our third part of the breathing. So walk your feet and your knees together, then drop your knees while clapping your feet together. This time we're going to try to draw the breath up into the upper chest. So first we want to engage the belly lock. So it's the stomach under the ribs, belly button towards the pelvis. Imagine that there's sewing needles between the bottom of your ribs and your pelvis, and pull your ribs down towards your pelvis. And then if you want, bring your hands up to your chest for the sensitivity. Take big breaths up into the chest. So exhale. Engage. And big inhale up into the chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. All right, 2 more breaths on your own time. Alright, then bring your hands down outside of your thighs or your knees. Gently draw your legs back up together. Walk your feet and your knees hip distance apart. Let your hands go wide. Take a couple breaths. Alright, so for the next part of the series, we're going to roll onto our side here. So start on our left side down. You can have your feet and knees together about a 90-degree angle across your knees, at your hips. You know, if you have it up at a 90 degree, it's going to be more work. The bigger the angle in your hips, the easier it's going to be. So find a place where you're comfortable. Now you can use your left arm as a pillow for your head, or you can have your arms straight out, whatever is most comfortable for you. And then we're going to use this right arm as an outrigger. And then we're going to start with some clamshells. So if you can, engage the left leg or the left ankle on the bottom, so it's slightly lifting up off the floor. There we go. And then keeping your big toes together, start doing some clamshells. Bring those legs together, let the left foot drop to the floor. You can bring your arm up onto your side to relax a little bit. Now, as we start going through the next series, it's important we want to try to maintain a imprint in our back. So even in this position, can you imprint an arch? Imprint an arch. If you got an idea of how to do that, get a sensitivity of it. Now we're going to try to keep that imprint. Bring our right hand back out as the outrigger and extend that right leg out all the way. And we'll start doing some leg lifts on this side. Think about maintaining the imprint. Think about maintaining the engagement in that foot. Think about pushing the left leg into the ground. Right arm pushing into the ground. So good stable support. Now, keep going with the leg lift, but start sweeping that leg forward. Once you get it as far forward as you can comfortably, just let it come down to the floor. Get a good stretch. Once again, you can release that right hand, bring it to your hips, or you can actually use it to hook on the inside of your hip. Push that right seat down to where the left ankle. So you actually get a bit of lift on the underside of your body. Once again, remember to maintain that imprint, drawing your abs in. Big belly breath to really stretch into the hips. And release, draw that right leg back, just rest it on top of the left. A couple breaths and relax. Alright, now once again, extend that right leg out. Now we're going to once again put the right hand out as an outrigger. And we'll start to sweep that leg back and then sweep it forward, keeping your ankle, your foot at a level height, sweeping it back and forth. Remember to really engage that imprint as you draw your leg behind you. This time when you take the leg back behind your body, extend it and hold it. Engage the abs. Alright, now can you bend that knee, bringing your ankle towards your bum. Take your right hand, bring a nice rainbow arch and grab that ankle. So the first thing we want to do is engage the imprint. Take a breath, relax, and then really push, kick that leg into the wrist, or into the arm. So a lot of arm and leg tension between the two. Rachel, can you lower your knee and your ankle a little bit? There you go. Kick, kick, kick. That ankle into your arm. Pull with the arm back into the leg. A lot of dynamic tension. And then release. Can you draw your ankle closer towards your seat now? Oh, sorry. Keep your arm engaged, but just you're rather than kicking into the ankle now. You want to draw the ankle towards the seat. And once again, being very aware of maintaining your imprint. Can you draw the knee farther back? Now, slowly release. Don't let that leg kick out, fly out. Slowly release, go to stretch, and then bring it to lay on top of the left leg. Relax, take a couple breaths. Alright, we're going to do one more round. So extend the right leg out. Bring your right arm as an outrigger. Stretch that leg back. Bring it forward. Sweep it back and forth a couple times. Then draw it back. Bend at the knee. Grab that ankle. Kick, 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 ankle out, drawing back with your arm. Alright, now relax the kick and pull your ankle in towards your bum. And now being very mindful of maintaining your imprint, draw your knee back a little bit farther. And release. Bring those legs back together, arm be it on your side. Alright, now we're going to roll back onto our backs. And we'll do our final round of breathing. So this time we're going to do the full breath. So that's belly, ribs, chest, and then exhale, chest, ribs, belly. So once again, you want to have your knees at about nice relaxed angle in the knee, feet hip width apart, knees hip width apart. This time if you want to get a bit of extra stretch into the upper body, we can bring our arms up, bring it behind our head, interlace the fingers, draw the neck away, lay the head down gently, and let those elbows go down to the floor. If that's too much for you, just have your arms at your sides. Alright, take a breath in, natural breath in, and then big exhale. And we'll begin the full breath. So inhale, belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale. Alright, 2 more full breaths. Alright, then relax. Just bring your arms back overhead. Drop them to your sides. A couple natural breaths before we start on the other side. Alright, so now we're going to come on to our right side. Once again, you can use your arm as a pillow, or you can lay it out straight. Have our knees at a 90-degree angle, and once again, the angle here of your hips depends. We'll make it easier or harder. Harder the closer, easier the farther away. We'll bring our right arm out as an outrigger. Lift up the left arm out as an outrigger. Lift up that right leg on the bottom a little bit. And we'll start doing some clamshells. Keep the big toe joints together. Remember to engage your abs lightly. Imagine that you are keeping a neutral spine. We want to go into imprint for this series of exercises. Alright, a few more, and then relax. Once again, you can bring that left arm to your side, take a couple deep breaths. Alright, in from here, we'll practice doing a couple imprint, an arch, imprint, an arch. Alright, once again, maintaining that imprint, bring our left hand out as an outrigger. Stretch the left leg straight out behind us. Remember to engage your toes. And we'll start doing some leg lifts on this side. It's a lot more work for me to maintain the imprint on this side. And then keep doing the leg lift, but slowly drawing that leg forward. Once you've got that leg drawn up as far as you can, bring it down and get a nice stretch. Once again, you can bring your left hand into your hip crease and push your seat down towards your right foot. And remember to engage the imprint, light engagement in the abs. engagement in that toe and those feet. Alright, then we'll draw that left leg back, rest it on top of the right. Let your arm go. Take a couple breaths and relax. Alright, so once again, bring that left arm out as an outrigger. Check that we have a good imprint. Stretch that left leg straight out. Gauge the feet, the ankles. And we're going to start sweeping it back and forward. Back and forward. Keeping our ankle at the same height off the floor, about a foot. This time sweeping it back to hold. Now you still got that engagement in the belly, maintaining that imprint. Alright, then bend the knee, sweep the left arm back to grab the ankle. Now kick the ankle into the hand, the arm's pulling back on the leg. Cat, can you drop your knee? And Rachel, also drop your ankle a little bit. Keep your knee at the same spot. Can you drop your ankle? Alright, release that kick and start pulling your ankle towards your seat. Check your imprint and draw the knee back. And release. Let that left leg come on top of the right. Arm at your side. Take a couple breaths and relax. I gotta check the technology here. Oh, alright. We didn't lose you, John. There you go. Alright. once again, we're gonna bring that left arm out as an outrigger. We're gonna check that we have the imprint. Draw that left leg out, push the right leg into the ground, sweep it back and forth a couple times. And this time when we sweep it back, we're gonna hold. Make sure that we got a good imprint. Bend at the knee, grab that ankle. Kick, 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 ankle into hand. Pull, pull, pull. Arm pulling that leg back, or that ankle back. Alright, release that kick and draw the ankle towards the bum. Alright, now really checking and engaging that imprint and draw that knee back a little bit farther. And then release, straighten that leg out, and then draw it back, let it rest on top of the other one. Take a couple deep breaths and relax. Alright, I'm going to come up onto all fours. Okay, John, have you been doing your homework? A little bit? Alright, well, we're going to tuck our toes, knees hip width apart. Make sure that we got good engagement with our hands, really pushing into that index finger joint to make it sure it stays down. I want to do a couple of cat-cow, so exhale, arching up. Inhale, let that belly hang. Alright, so today, Kat, I know your hips are feeling a bit sore, so you can just go ahead, put your feet flat, toes together, and come back into a child's pose. Knees wide. Alright, and if you want to follow along here, we're going to go tuck the toes again. Okay, you can just relax. And then we're going to come up into a downward dog. So we just want to lift our hips straight up, try not to move our shoulders much at all. Alright, and then from here, just imagine right leg, it's just the leg lift, like we practiced before. And then with the shin lift, right? So going into the shin lift. And now keep that knee bent towards you, keep that tucked in. And can you lift up your right hip while letting the right ankle drop? Lifting that knee up, ankle dropping down towards your seat. Push, push, push into your hands. Good engagement. downward dog. Drop down to your knees and back into a child's pose. Alright, now getting ready to go into the other side. Knees closer together. Flip the feet, get up onto our toes. Once again, get that engagement, pushing the hands down. And once again, without disturbing the shoulders very much, just lift your hips up. Cat, if you want to, just maybe do some more cat-cow or a puppy pose. Alright, so now on the left side, once again, it's just a leg lift to start. And then we'll do a couple shin lifts. And then keeping that left leg bent, you lift up the left hip, the left knee, letting that left ankle drop. Alright, nice, slow, controlled release, dropping that hip, letting that steady the left leg, dropping it back down, and slowly coming back down into a child's pose. Alright, we're going to do one more round. So, knees and feet hip width apart, tuck the toes, engage with the arms, get those shoulders. Once again, lifting the hips straight up, minimal disturbance to the shoulders. Take a deep breath, do leg lift on this side, on the right side. Then shin lift, and just go ahead and keep it this time. Knee bent, drawing that hip, right hip up, right knee up, letting the right ankle drop. Are you breathing? Alright, and release. Straighten that leg out, drop it back down. Coming down. This time, if you want, you can do knees together, knees and feet together, child's pose. And maybe use your hands to relax your head, so you can do a fist and then a palm, or you can do two fists depending on your range. So now we're going the left side. So once again, arms out front, knees and feet hip width apart. Tuck your toes. And lifting up into a downward dog. Do a leg lift on the left side. And shin lift a couple times. Then keep the knee bent. Lifting up the left hip, the left knee, letting the ankle drop. And straighten out the left leg, letting the hip drop, bring it back down. Back into child's pose, your choice, knees wide, knees together. Alright, everybody feeling their hips? Alright, after that good exercise, I think we'll do a nice legs up the wall and Shavasana to end. So, you rearrange yourself, find a spot where you can get your legs up against the wall. I think you guys can both go right there. John, if the phone goes dead there, you can just finish off with Shavasana after doing your legs up the wall. Alright, so a little trick for getting into legs up the wall. Once again, like we've been doing before, you can just lay it on your side. Get your seat as close to the wall as you can. Bending your knees. Use that arm, the other arm's outrigger, push yourself up, and then let your legs go up the wall. Once again, even here we want to check, can you imprint an arch, imprint an arch. If you're just totally imprinting, then you're too close to the wall. You can come back from the wall a little ways. Let your arms go wide. Close your eyes, just breathe. So if you can do the imprint and arch, and if you relax a little bit, you can bring your elbows to your side, hands up, and once again stretch. This time you're stretching your hips and your pelvis away from your upper body, closer to the wall. And then bring your hands up to your head, gently lift your head and stretch your neck. Lay it down gently. If you want, once again, you can cross your fingers behind your head and let your elbows go wide to get a nice stretch in the chest. Check that you can still imprint an arch so that you know that you're not overdoing it. If you're feeling good, we can do a couple rounds of full breath. So once again, that's belly, ribs, chest, and then exhale, chest, ribs, belly. So big exhale. And inhale. Belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Few more breaths on your own time. Alright, so lift your head up gently, release your arms by your side. Draw your knees in, give yourself a big hug. And then wiggle out from the wall as we go into Shavasana. Just integrate all that hip work that we did. Even here, do you notice, do you tend to put one weight more on one side of the pelvis than the other? So before we settle into Shavasana, maybe we'll teeter-totter a couple of times. Relax your knees and imprint and arch a little bit. And then just completely relax. Alright, slowly waking the body up, we'll start taking some deeper breaths. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. Lift your arms up overhead. Let them drop down to your chest. Draw your knees in. Roll off to the side. Bring yourself up into a seated position. Alright, we'll finish with group Om and dedication of our practice. Thank you everyone for joining me on this journey, joining me in this class. Thank you to all my teachers who have brought me to this point. Namaste.
Namaste.